Hello, welcome to Oweleketv News. I am Francis Aiton. Thanks for being with us. First, the news headlines. Moon sighted in Nigeria, Friday Eid-ul-Fitr, Sultan. Court adjourns trial of Yahaya Bello's nephew. Police arrest 26 cultists terrorizing Enugu. Tinubu appoints Kyari, 12 others as members of Presidential Inauguration Committee. Welcome back and thanks for being with us. Now the news in details. The Sultan of Sokoto and President General of Nigeria Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs NSCIA Alhaji Mohammed Syed Abubakar has declared Friday, April 21st, 2023 a celebration across the country. The Sultan stated this during a nationwide live broadcast in his palace in Sokoto on Thursday night. Sultan, in his statement, declares Thursday, April 21st, which is equivalent to the 29th day of Ramadan, signifies the end of Ramadan 2023. According to the statement, the Sultanate Council Advisory Committee on Religious Affairs, in convergence with the National Moon Sighting Committee, received the report from various moon sighting across the country, verifying the sighting of the new moon of Shawwal 1444 AH on Thursday, 20th April 2023, which was the 29th day of Ramadan 1444 AH. Therefore, Thursday, 20th April 2023 is the 29th day of the month of Ramadan 1444 AH. He said the report of the moon sighting was received by the committee from various parts of the country by the Moon Sighting Committee. Bello was arraigned alongside two others at the Federal High Court on 18 charges of money laundering and misappropriation of about 3 billion naira. The two other co-defendants are Abba Adauda, Yakubu Adebeniga, and Iyada Sadat. Another defendant, Rashida Bello, is at large. When the case was called on Tuesday, the prosecution, led by Rotimi Oyedepo's son, called the first witness, Mr. Nicholas Oyemomoni of the American International School, Abuja. Oyemomoni, however, could not complete his testimony because the defense team, led by Abubakar Aliu's son, objected to the documents that the EFCC sought to tender in evidence through him. Mr. Aliu prayed the court allows him to raise the objection in his final written address while admitting the documents provisionally. The prosecuting counsel objected to this on the grounds that the documents could not be provisionally admitted. The judge thereafter adjourned the matter until May 30th and 31st, 2023 for the continuation of the trial. It will also be recalled that the court admitted Bello and 3 others to bail on February 20, 2023 in the sum of 500 million naira. The Enugu State Police Command has arrested 26 persons suspected to be involved in the court clashes being recorded across the state. The clashes, which are said to involve members of the Supreme Vikings and Black Axe confraternities, had reportedly declared no fewer than 14 lives in the last 2 weeks. The command, in a statement on Thursday by spokesperson Daniel Ndukwe, said the State Commissioner of Police, Ahmed Amani, has ordered area commanders, divisional police officers, and heads of tactical teams to use the functional and intelligence resources at their disposal to further clamp down on the suspected criminals and bring them to justice. Ndukwe said the 26 male suspects, whose ages range from 18 to 40, were arrested at different locations in the state by investigators of the command's anti-cultism squad. According to him, The suspects, all linked to the crime, confessed being members of the Supreme Vikings and Black Axe confraternities that are respectively involved in the Cold War. The investigations further showed that the attacks have led to the murder of yet to be ascertained number of individuals on different dates and times in the noted locations. The suspects were arraigned on Thursday, April 20, 2023 in court and remanded in the Nigerian Correctional Custodial Center while frantic operative and investigative efforts are on course to apprehend and bring other perpetrators of the act to book. We'll now be going on a short break. We'll be right back. Please stay with us. Welcome back and thanks for being with us. The Department of State Services, DSS, says it arrested 2 gunmen on Thursday in Kano and retrieved a stash of arms and ammunition. This is contained in a statement by the Service Public Relations Officer, Dr. Peter Afunaya, on Thursday in Abuja. Afunaya said the operatives seized 2 AK-47 assault rifles, 2 empty AK-47 magazines, a red Boxer motorcycle, and a sack of yams in which the guns were concealed. He said the suspects were on transit to deliver the arms for a plotted attack in one of the states in the northern Nigeria. This development, according to him, emphasizes the need for citizens to be extra vigilant and report any unusual or suspicious movements, persons, or acts to security agencies nearest to them. Operators and patrons of fun, hospitality, and tourism centers are enjoined to be cautious during the festive periods. They should scale up measures to ensure the safety of their facilities. However, the service wishes Muslim faithfuls peaceful and joyous Eid-ul-Fitr celebrations. Labour Party National Chairman Abure orders to no fate on Justice Hamza Mwazu of the High Court of the Federal Capital Territory FCT has fixed May 12 to decide on whether or not to lift the suspension order placed on the national chairman of Labour Party Chief Julius Abure and others from parading themselves as officers of the party. The court had, upon an ex parte application on April 5th, restrained Abure, Alhaji Farouk Ibrahim, National Secretary, Oluchi Opara, National Treasurer, and Clement Ujuku, National Organizing Secretary, from parading themselves as party officials. Similarly, on Monday, April 17, Justice Mwazu declined a request to evacuate the interim order restraining Abure, Ibrahim, Opara, and Ojuku from further parading themselves as national officers of the Labour Party. The party officials were restrained by the court on the grounds of alleged fraud, forgery, and criminal conspiracy. The order followed a suit questioning Abure and his co-defendants' continued stay in office. However, at the resumed hearing on the suit on Thursday, Abure and his co-defendants, in their preliminary objections, maintained that the suit borders on the leadership crisis. Arguing through the counsel, Ben Umosu, the defendants insisted that the issue, being an internal affair of the party, cannot be referred upon by any court. The defendants argued that the suit was incompetent and that the court lacks the jurisdiction to entertain the matter. On their part, the 8 claimants, illustrated by Judge Ibrahim, asked the court to dismiss the defendants' preliminary objection and grant their release accordingly for being meritorious. Ibrahim told the court that the claimants have also filed contempt proceedings against Abure and his co-defendants and the president of the Nigeria Labour Congress for allegedly acting in breach of an existing order of the court. He informed the court that despite the subsisting interim order, the defendants went ahead and held an executive council meeting. He added that the defendants should all note that the order restraining them from parading themselves as national officers of Labour Party still subsists. Nigeria's president-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu has appointed the former senator representing Borno North and current national deputy chairman North of the ruling All Progressives Congress (APC), Abubakar Kyari, and other 12 members of the Presidential Inauguration Committee. The committee is expected to plan a week-long presidential inauguration event that will usher Tinubu and Vice President-elect Kashim Shettima in as the president and vice president of the country. In an exclusive report by barristerng.com said the appointment, which was conveyed in a letter to the president through the secretary to the government of the Federation (SGF), Boss Mustafa, announced Kyari as coordinator and director of finance and budget of the committee. The list of appointees to the report has the executive director, business development at the Nigeria Export-Import Nexim Bank, Stella Okotite, who will serve as the head of secretariat, planning and monitoring, while Makinde Oraoye, an ex-All Progressive Congress governorship aspirant from Ekiti State, will serve as the director of the venue, parades, and swearing-in for the week-long events. The APC presidential campaign spokesperson, Bello will serve as head of media and publicity, while the Cross River State Commissioner for Health and current national women leader of the ruling APC, Dr. Betta Edu, will coordinate the medical team for the inauguration committee. A retired military chief and younger brother of the late President Umaru Musa Yar'Adua, Colonel Abdulaziz Yar'Adua, will act as the head of security and ceremonial parade for the inauguration, with Barrister Zainab Buba Marawa, the wife of the former Lagos State military governor and current Director General of Nigeria's Drug Law Enforcement Agency (NDLEA), General Buba Marawa, coordinating the pre-inauguration dinner and gala night. Other members of the committee are Samira Sadiq, Children's Day; Abu Andrew Abu, Accommodation; Dr. Danladi Bako, Inaugural Lecture; Hajia Hadiza Mohammed Kabra, Transportation and Logistics; Dona Wokuma, Protocol and Invitation; Bishop Adebite, Church Service; and Imam Faud, Jumat Service. Tinubu initially forwarded the names of Governor Atiku Bagudu of Kebbi State and former Lagos State Commissioner for Finance Wale Edun to Mustafa to be included as his representatives in the transition committee. We'll now be going on a short break. We'll be right back. Please stay tuned. Welcome back and thanks for being with us. The Nigerian Customs Service Area 1 Command in Port Harcourt, Rivers, said it has generated over 28.5 billion naira, summing to a total of 28,507,808,031 naira between January and March 2023. Area Commander Controller Chaide Wada, during a media briefing on Thursday in Port Harcourt, said that comparing the figure to 2022 revenue, the command has so far recorded a 23% increase in revenue during the period under review. The controller noted that the command's revenue as of 2022 between January and March stood at 23,146,320,043 naira, also confirmed an over 5 billion increase for the first 3 months of 2023, realized as much as over 28.5 billion as of March. He also noted that the 5 billion revenue increase recorded so far shown 23% revenue advancement of March 2023. The controller also said that the command registered 119 interventions between January and March 2023, leading to the retrieval of 502,576,441 naira as against 373,762,301 naira from 91 interventions recorded between January and March 2022. He, however, attributed the command's achievements to robust synergy with sister agencies, consignors, port operators, as well as other stakeholders in the maritime business. The controller therefore promised to ensure continued transparency and standard to boost the ease of doing business at the Port Harcourt port. President Vladimir Zelensky of Ukraine has invited Bola Tinubu, the president-elect, for a state visit to Ukraine after his official inauguration on May 29. Mr. Tunde Rahman, the media officer of the president-elect, said this in a statement on Thursday in Abuja. Rahman said that the invitation was part of a congratulatory letter by Zelensky to Tinubu over his election victory. He said that the Ukrainian leader in a letter expressed gladness at the peaceful conduct of the 2023 general elections. The letter reads, "Please accept my sincere congratulations on your election as President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Despite extremely difficult testing times caused by the full-scale armed aggression of Russia against our state, Ukraine is determined to further strengthen cooperation with Nigeria at the bilateral level and within the framework of international organizations." He added that Ukraine is grateful for Nigeria's support of the resolution of the General Assembly of the United Nations Organization, principles of the UN Charter, underlying a comprehensive, just and sustainable peace in the country. Zelensky added that his country is counting on the active participation of Nigeria in the practical implementation of the resolution. He ascertained that further provision of global food security, of which Ukraine is and remains a reliable guarantor at the global level, is an important direction of cooperation. He said the fulfillment of the task will be facilitated by the successful implementation of the Ukrainian initiative Grain from Ukraine. This, he said, was designed to significantly increase the supply of grain to African countries to prevent famine. Taking this opportunity, he invited the president-elect to pay an official visit to Ukraine at the time convenient for him, emphasizing that he is confident the visit will strengthen the dialogue between the two countries and contribute to further consolidation of joint efforts of the international community aimed at solving urgent challenges of today. In fulfillment of his promise to guarantee that men and officers of the Nigeria's police force are well motivated to perform optimally, the Inspector General of Police, IGP Usman Alkali Baba, has directed that machinery be put in place for the promotion of deserving inspectors and rank and file. To achieve this, the IGP has directed the Deputy Inspector General, DIG of Police, in charge of Department of Finance and Administration, to coordinate with the Force Secretary for setting up of a Departmental Section Board, DSB, for the screening and selection of deserving members of the Inspectorate Cadet for recommendation to the Police Service Commission for promotion to the rank of Assistant Superintendent of Police 2, ASP 2. In a statement by the Force spokesman, Olumuyiwa Adejobi, CSP, the IGP also directed the Commissioner of Police Welfare to compile a list of members of the rank and file who are due and deserving of elevation to the next rank. The statement quoted the IGP as noting that regular and timely elevation of deserving officers to the next ranks will boost the morale of officers and men of the force. He therefore charged the officers to be exemplary and exhibit professionalism in order to sustain the manpower development drive of the NPF. This is all the news on Oweleketv News today. You can follow us on our social media handles as displayed on your screen for advert placement, sponsorship, and inquiries. But before we go, here's a recap on the major news headlines. Tinubu appoints Kyari, 12 others as members of the Presidential Inauguration Committee. Alleged 3 billion naira fraud, court adjourns trial of Yahaya Bello's nephew. Police arrest 26 cultists terrorizing Enugu. Moon sighted in Nigeria, Friday Eid-ul-Fitr Sultan. I am Francis Atim. Till I come your way again with another heart-thrilling news. Until then, be safe and be happy. Thank you. Bye-bye.